Hey everyone, so today I'm going to talk about my experience from going from dyed black hair to platinum blonde, and obviously I'm not blonde anymore, so I'm like kind of a little late on the draw here, but I just left my hair natural because I just recently dyed it back dark again, so I left it to kind of show you the aftermath and like how it's sort of frizzy at the edges. It's coming back in pretty healthy, but platinum blonde is obviously pretty damaging when you're going from having it dyed black. So I'm just gonna show you what I used. I'm not saying this is what you should do. It probably totally isn't what you should do, but it's what I did and it worked for me, and maybe it could help somebody else out. So first, I'll insert a picture of how dark my hair was. It was black as black can be. It like even looked kind of blue. It was so black. So from there, I'm just going to show you this part because I then put a few blonde streaks through it, and this in itself was a process and I could talk about that some other time, but just so that you can kind of see why it's a little bit lighter in certain spots, like after I bleach some of it. So for the first bleaching, I used Salon Care Developer with, and it looks like this, red lid, white bottle, but the first time I used it in a 30 volume instead of a 40 because I thought it would be less damaging, but the truth of the matter is that you should use a higher volume the least amount of times as you can because each bleaching is going to obviously damage it more than if you just used a higher developer in the first place. So that was one mistake that I made. So if you're going from black to blonde, I definitely suggest using a 40 developer, maybe even 50, but don't take my word for it. I used 40 the next times. But the bleach that I used with this developer, I actually don't have a bottle of it right now because I didn't have any left over. But I'll insert a picture of it right here. It is the clear blue bleach, and it's in a white and blue bottle. So after my first bleaching, and I just did this myself using, I got all my supplies from Sally's Beauty Supply, by the way. I'm sure you could get like the same stuff from any beauty supply store. So I just used black hair, like salon quality gloves, and these are actually awesome, except I only have one left because the other one had an unfortunate loss of fingers. And then to apply it, I would just, another thing, use the measurements that it tells you on the bottle, because I didn't half the time. I would just kind of mix it up till I thought it was like a good consistency, and that totally is a solid way to damage your hair more than it needs to be damaged. So I would just use like a regular food container, and I got one of these brushes again from Sally's Beauty Supply, and it's really good for doing roots. Sometimes I would use it, but I generally just found it easier to just use my fingers to pull the bleach through. So the first time I straight up just did my entire head, just pulled bleach through my entire head. This is totally probably not the way you're supposed to bleach your hair, but I just wanted it done quick, and that's how I did it. So I avoided the parts that I already had like a little bit blonde, and it turned out like this. There you go, a lovely shade of bright, fiery orange. And that is a step that you have to go through. And truthfully, I didn't think it looked all that terrible. Like, I could deal with it. So I think I had that for about a week and a half. They say to at least let your hair rest for a week between bleaching sessions so that obviously it doesn't fall out of your head when you bleach it again. So after that week and a half, I then went back in. This time I used the 40 volume developer with the same bleach, and again I just did my entire head. So here's a picture of how that turned out. So you can see it's still like a little bit, okay, no, it's like fully bright yellow. Here's another picture. So it was alright, like I was happy with it at this point, obviously, if you couldn't tell. And then I think I left it like that for like 2 more weeks. again, you're supposed to let it rest in between bleaching sessions, so that's what I did. And then I bleached it 1/3 and last time, and it became the platinum color that I wanted. So here's a picture of how that turned out. So there you can see that my hair was kind of frizzled, and that was because I think I had just bleached it, and it gets like, I don't know how to say it, it gets like excited after like you just did it, and looks way worse than like it actually is, and it's gonna look that way for like a couple weeks. So I just used, you know, like Moroccan oil treatments and stuff to help it like get like nutrients back in it. And then I just cut like my hair up to here because the ends they had been previously bleached like a year before or something, so they were pretty dead. And so once I cut those off and used purple shampoo, which is like vital if you want to have platinum blonde hair, I used the Shimmer Lights shampoo and conditioner almost every time I showered, and I would just let that sit in for about a minute to 2 minutes every time, and my hair turned out like this. Alright, so there you have it. That's a complete story of how I bleached my hair to platinum blonde from being dyed black. It took a total of 3 full head bleaching sessions. Don't necessarily recommend that you do it that way, but it worked out well for me. I still have incredibly thick hair, and I definitely plan to do it again in the exact same way once my hair like grows back in. So if you try it out, let me know how it goes, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!